Hello everybody, Frozen X Blade here with a cool video in my opinion that I think a few of you will like. We're on the world where I do all of my Minecraft videos, and this is a noob's guide to PvP. PvP, as you may or may not know, is player versus player in Minecraft. So basically it's where two players try to kill each other, like Meathead. What a meathead. Ugh. Leave me alone. But yeah, so we'll go over the basics, some advanced things, and enchanting and using anvils. So this is the bare minimum stuff you're going to want if you're planning to fight against another player. You're going to want a sword. Diamond is the best. A bow with at least a stack of arrows, and armor. And once again, diamond is the best. I'm going to put that on. And sword and bow. Don't have to keep your arrows in your hotbar unless you really have space. So sword is used for melee, which is close range and destroying opponents that way. The diamond sword does 7 damage, so that's pretty good. Plus the one you already get, that's 8 damage. And Meathead1's playing Minecraft. He might join my game. Special guest, wow. And the bow is used for long range, which can do, I believe, like 5 to 9 damage on a good day. Now, all of this is really basic stuff, and unless you're an absolute noob to Minecraft, you probably know this already. So let's get on to some of the lesser known things you want to have in a PvP battle. Ender pearls, lava bucket and water bucket, bleh, flint and steel, a pickaxe, diamond is best, a stack of some blocks, and a fishing rod can be useful. Now I'll explain each one of these. Ender pearls are pretty self-explanatory. When you throw one, it teleports you to that place. These are very useful for getting around in fights, going and then pulling out your sword and marauding someone. But be cautious. Whenever you throw these, it takes away a heart and a half of your health. So you can't just like spam them too much, or you'll die. Of course, I'm not dying because I'm in creative mode. Now, water bucket can be useful for water bucket clutching. Like, say you're about to take a lot of fall damage, you can place the water bucket to stop your fall. If you don't know how to do that, you can watch my video I posted called How to Water Bucket Clutch. It's also useful for, like, if you're running away from someone, you can place it behind you, and that'll slow the person down while you can make your escape, because it's really hard to move up water, as you can see. Now, the lava bucket is kind of the same as the water bucket, except you don't want to use it for falling down because, you know, you'll kind of burn. But if you can walk up to someone and put this lava bucket on their head, and they will just kind of burn, and you can just watch and laugh as they helplessly struggle through the lava. Because lava does a ton of damage. A ton of damage. It's pretty amazing. Flint and steel is basically like lava, except on a lesser scale. You can light up the ground, but it does have durability, and if you walk through it, it'll set you on fire. Of course, once again, I'm in creative mode, so that won't happen. Let me put this all out real quick. Oh no! Look what I've done. You're gonna want to use a sword for this if you're in creative mode, because otherwise you're gonna break the ground all around you. I'll just patch that up. Now you're gonna want a pickaxe, because sometimes you're going to need to mine out into tight spots. So a shovel could be useful too, although it's not necessary. And building blocks for a good escape route, so you can just mine straight up, and as long as the person doesn't have a bow, you can just like chill out up here while you regen health. And they're also useful for like making a little base that you need to take cover from enemy arrows. Now, something that's not here, that's pretty obvious, you're going to want food. Make sure you have food with you. Steak and pork chops are the best saturation and best hunger restoration. And cake can be useful while you're on the run. Place it down and take a bite and then keep running away. And now for the fishing rod. The fishing rod isn't absolutely necessary, but it can be useful when you're lacking a bow, you don't have a bow on you, or you've ran out of arrows. A fishing rod can be useful to repel the other player. It barely does any damage, like half a heart, if that, might not even do any damage at all. But you can use it to deal knockback and knock a person away from you. That's all for the gear. Now we're going to go over potions. Potions are things that are brewed in a brewing stand, and you're gonna want these in a fight because they give you the edge over your opponent with all kinds of different effects. Now, I'm not gonna show you how to brew these potions this video because that would take forever, but I might upload a video of that if you guys want me to. So, first one's a potion of strength. I'm using max out potions here. That gives you the strength buff for 4 minutes. Strength, what it does is you deal more damage when you're in a melee fight, so that's really useful. There's invisibility. This one's one of my favorites. You can drink it and you become invisible, so you can take off your armor, make sure nothing's in your hand, and just go crazy because you're invisible. And you can just like sneak up on people and murder them, and it works really good with strength because you can nearly insta-kill them. Now, the next one, which isn't as useful in PvP, but can be, is night vision. You're going to want this one if it's nighttime. You see those shadows over there disappeared. Basically just lets you see in the nighttime. And that can be useful for seeing in the dark, making your snipes right. Now we have healing. This will heal a little bit of your health. Like, not a little bit, like 4 or 5 hearts, I'm pretty sure. Really quickly. Fire resistance. This is pretty self-explanatory. It stops you from taking any fire damage. Motion and regeneration, sort of like the healing one, except it heals your health slowly over time, so like half a heart per second, and that lasts a minute, so it's really useful. And the last of the good ones, I think, is swiftness. That makes you super fast, or super speed right now. That works pretty well with the invisibility strength combo, too. Now, there are bad potions, like poison, slowness, and harming. You do not want to throw these at yourself, for obvious reasons, but if you see someone else, you can toss a potion of poison at them, and they'll be poisoned. Toss some slowness, they'll be slow, and toss some harming, and it'll do some damage. So those are very useful in a fight. Now, I'm going to talk to you about enchanting. Enchanting is a very major part of Minecraft, because it'll definitely give you a huge edge in the battle. Now, enchanting, you need an enchantment table, and to get the best enchants, you're going to need 15 books around it. I have 18, just because it looks nice. Now, you're going to need levels for these, but since I'm in creative mode, I don't. But I'm just going to do it anyway, because I like to. So, what you do is you put in the thing you want to enchant. The higher level the enchant, the better enchantments you generally get on your item. So for a sword, let's go for a level 30, that's the highest. You'll see I get looting 3 and sharpness 3. Now, I won't explain all the enchantments because there are a lot, but looting, basically when you kill a mob, it has a much greater chance of dropping rare items, and sharpness does overall more damage. So this sword, even though it says +7, it probably does about 11 to 12 more damage, so sharpness is really useful. Now let's do an enchant on a bow to show you how that works. For this we got power 3, punch 1, flame 1, and I'll explain all of those. Power 3 is kind of like sharpness for a sword, it does more damage. Punch is kind of like knockback on a sword, if you ever heard of that. When you hit someone, it sends them flying backwards. So if I got hit, I'd be like, whoa! And flame, as you can probably see, lights people on fire for a short amount of time. It's pretty overpowered enchantment. So those are okay enchantments. Now, instead of enchanting my armor, I'm going to show you how to use the anvil. The anvil is something else you need levels for, so you can get that from slaughtering mobs, other players, and mining ores. So there are a few uses for the anvil. It's used for repairing items, so you can put a diamond sword in there and like a few diamonds, and it'll restore the durability on a sword, because if you swing it a lot of stuff too much, then your sword can break eventually, so that's how you used to heal it. It's used to combine enchanted books with items, so I'm going to show you that. So let's see this helmet. If you combine it with this protection enchanting book, which reduces damage, the helmet gets enchanted with protection. I'm going to do that to all these since I have the books on me. And you're going to need enchantment levels for this, and you can see right under, guess I should put it in first. Right here, it'll tell you the enchantment cost. So for this one, it's 6. Which isn't that bad actually for a protection 4 enchantment. That's the best protection you can get. So there you go. And its last use is for combining 2 enchantments. So let's say real quick, I went and got another bow and enchanted it with a level 30. Power 4, Flame 1. Now watch this. You can put this bow in and this bow in, and you can combine them for a really high enchantment cost, but it does increase it. So you see, this is pretty bad. This is an okay example, I guess. So this one's Power 3, Punch 1, Flame 1, and this one's Power 4, Flame 1. If you combine, you get Power 4, Punch 1, Flame 1, which, if you notice, is better than either of these. So there you go. Now you have a much better bow. And an anvil is usually the way you want to perfect your armor and weapons, because otherwise it's really, really hard. You'd have to get lucky with your enchantments, and it's hard to get lucky. Anyway, guys, I'll be uploading a few PvP videos if you want me to you know, show you some of this stuff. Other than that, that is a noob's guide to PvP. If you're a noob, I hope you can use this stuff to your advantage and slaughter all your friends and enemies. Other than that, if you enjoyed the video, make sure to leave a like, comment, and subscribe if you haven't done so already. Thanks for watching, and Frozen out.